Hello. Today I thought I'd try a different video of this. I thought I'd work on some Warhammer 40,000 figurines. I'm a huge Warhammer nerd. I know I'm pretty much a walking encyclopedia of Warhammer 40,000. I know it a lot better than Star Wars or Star Trek. But I've been building a lot of these figurines lately, and I thought I'd maybe build a few more on camera, help some of you guys get to sleep or something. But I don't have many people to talk to 40K about. It's pretty obscure type of gothic science fiction media, so. But I feel like, me blithering about it while I work on these, it'll be something to do and be kind of fun for me. But this figurine right here is it's a Tau fire warrior. He's an alien race called the Tau, and I believe this is a 25 millimeter figure. They measure these figurines by how wide the base is. So I believe this is 25 millimeters across. Don't quote me on that. I didn't actually measure it. I kind of eyeballed it. It's about feels like 25 millimeters. But anyway, these Tau, they're gray blue skinned aliens. They have hooves. I don't know if you can see that. He's got some hooves down there. But they believe in fighting for the greater good of their people. They're a caste-based alien race. If they're born in the fire caste, you're going to go in the military whether you want to or not. Part of who you are. The water caste, they do navy stuff. Earth caste builds. Air caste does, like Air Force stuff. And then the ethereal caste is the ruler. But this guy is a fire warrior, which, as you can probably tell by the name, he's from the fire caste. So he's like infantry for the Tau. But I've built two of these Tau now. I've built a whole oodle of Dark Eldar, some Space Marines, Primaris and regular. But I'm just now starting on Tau. I have two of these guys done, but I have a lot more to make. So I figured I'd film a couple of them being made for interest. But please bear with me. This camera is not a bad camera, but I do have to manually focus it. So just bear with me on that. I think I'll put this guy like over here for reference. There, he's like it's gonna be like watching his buddies. Now let me just focus this the best I can. There you go. That looks pretty sharp. Can it get sharper? That's getting worse. Better. Worse. Better. There. That's probably like the best I can do, I think, because you just have to twist the lens piece to focus it. I guess that's kind of old school like that. But besides that one, I built another one. Okay, where is he? Okay, he's way at the back of my shelf over here. I got a shelf full of these guys. All sorts of 40K figurines. Here's the other one I made. He's like squatting. He's like doing a crouch shot thing like a marksman. So he's on one knee. It's kind of cool. Kind of like that. I did forget to add an antenna on his helmet, so I'm probably gonna do that first, just before I start another one. A good way to live your life is focus one thing at a time, Don't get too many things going at once or you'll be overwhelmed. So I got my sprue here and all my Tau pieces. Well, I got several. It doesn't look like the antennas are in this one. So I'm going to check this one. Ah, yes, this one has some antennas in it. So I'm going to move this guy over and move my sprue up so I can get working on that. Here's all the antennas on this section right here. They're like little earpieces that go on the side of their helmet. Now, what shape do I want to give him for his earpiece? Probably want to do... Looks like I got a rectangle for the other guy. So I might get another one. One of these flared ones kind of neat looking. I don't know if you can see that. We got some different shapes in here. Yeah, I think I want to try with this flared one, like right here. It's like flared from the bottom up, so I think that'll look kind of neat, kind of wingy shape. Like maybe he'll have like a winged helmet, but you know, only on one side. So, but yeah, let's give that a shot. See where we're at. So, I got my little antenna. It's small as unholy heck. But I'm gonna put my sprue down and see about getting that helmet on this, or getting that antenna on this guy. Yeah, he's got a little bump right here. It's very tiny. You know, it's very delicate work working with these tiny figurines, especially 25 millimeter. And Tau is one of the smaller races, so it's a little bit more, you know, Primaris Marines are a bit bigger. Orcs are huge and very easy to work with. But yeah, I think this antenna came out well. I was checking it to see if there's any like bumps on it I need to trim off with my X-Acto knife. Yeah, let's see. I don't know, just stick that on there. Okay, what angle did I put the antenna on this guy? See, the antenna's like, it looks like it's at a straight 45-degree angle off his helmet. I think I just raised it as much as I could to until the curvature of the helmet prevented its movement. So I think I'll probably do the same on this one. I might have to get my tweezers for this because it is such a small part. So let's check that out. Let's get on that. I wonder if it'd be easier to glue the piece or glue the side of his helmet and then stick it on. Let me just see if I can get this in my tweezers here. So I can get that on. Okay, that's the outside part. But I've really taken a liking to building these figurines lately. I got most of my collection when I was about 10, I think. It was second and third edition figurines. But as I've gotten older, I've come to respect it a lot more and I've gotten back into it. Let's see, carefully. Okay, I got the antenna on. Just need to be centered. I don't have enough control of those tweezers. I'm gonna go back to just using my hands. Wiggle, wiggle, stick. Okay, nope. It's angling down. The glue hasn't settled enough to make it malleable. It's just floating in liquid right now. Okay, see, it's on there, but it's rotated wrong. Only got a few seconds to minutes to make any adjustments I want before it's, well, near permanent. Okay, I got it on there, if you can see that. I got it on there, but I want to see if I can rotate it at a better angle. There, it looks like a good angle now. Just gonna straighten it up a little bit more. Yeah, that looks right. See his little antenna right there? Antenna on the side of his head now. That's how, like, they communicate, sort of like walkie-talkies or something, or I guess, you know, just headset communicators. General science fiction communication. There, just straightened it up a little bit more. It's kind of angled a lot off the top. Wish I could wiggle that over a little bit more. There. angles a lot differently than that one angles a lot differently than his buddies. But maybe it'll be good enough. I see his buddies is quite straight. Goes straight up the helmet like an antenna would. Kinda nice. This one's a little bit, probably not my best antenna work, but I have plenty to learn from. I've been a fan of 40K ever since I was about 10 years old, so like almost 20 years ago. And yeah, ever since I got those figurines, although I didn't really respect them at the time, being so young, but as I went through high school and stuff and got older in middle school, I started reading about the fiction and the universe more. I really got into like the literature side of it. And let's start a new figurine here. I like the literature side of it. It's gothic science fiction, and the difference between that and regular science fiction is that gothic is a lot darker in nature. I'm rummaging around in my parts box over here for like a base to start on. I forgot where I put my 25mm bases. These guys need something to stand on. Okay, that's a bag of dice. Those are building parts. You guys can't see me right now, but I'm just trying to get a base real quick to get started with. Oh, silly me, it's in my other parts box. Here's my parts, one of my parts boxes I'm working with. I've sorted a bunch of my stuff. See, we got like Space Marine parts, got some Eldar parts, got some weaponry. This is all just spiky decorations. Way over here, here's where I put my 25mm bases for the Tau. That's what they stand upon. You know, it's an important size because that's how they measure. That's how they measure like range and movement inside when you actually play the board game. And there's several iterations of the board game, but I'm not going to get into that. But I'm hoping to play with my friends, and to do that we need pieces to play with, and I want to see if we probably got enough to play now, but I want to make more, just so we have like even more options to play with. So that's what I've been working on these Tau for. Now we got a base for our guy to stand on. Now what we should do next is pick some legs to put on that base, and then we'll put a torso on that. Pull up my manual here. Okay, this is for a turret that they have, and got some robots down here. It's upside down for you, I know. But we're gonna see, here's the fire warriors we're working on. But generally, their construction is pretty loose. You just mix and match legs and torsos the way you like it, and it'll probably work out. With some of the other ones I've made, they weren't like that. You had to follow instructions to make sure they came out right. So what legs do I think I want to make another standing one. That I already got one crouching, one kneeling guy right now. This one looks alright. Kind of looks like he's running a little bit. I'm gonna go for that one next. Just get my clippers here, my model clippers, and clip in there. Yeah, he's running. He's got one leg higher than the other. So that means the figurine will be balancing on one leg. So I want to get that free. Ow! Sharp edge on that. Got me. Alright. The sprue had a sharp edge from where I cut it. I wasn't being careful enough. Alright. I got my X-Acto knife here. It's got a little bit of sprue left over on them. On that heel right there. I don't know if you can see this right here. You see this nub over here? They do have like ankle toes, but this is on the wrong side. It's just actually leftover sprue from breaking them out of that mold. So I'm just gonna pop that off real quick. I know you're not supposed to cut towards yourself, but it's kind of what I got here, what I have to work with. I need to tighten this a little. There. The blade is getting a little wobbly. Okay, the waist on it seems pretty alright. Just looking at it to make sure I know any other leftover sprue. It's like a hair or something on it. Got that off. Put my X-Acto right there for right now. Let's see, how is that lean? It looks like this one's gonna, with how the waistline is on it, if it bounces on one foot, it's gonna be leaning forward a lot. So I'm gonna glue his feet further towards an edge of the base, and then just try to center it the best I can. Where are these tiny hairs coming from? Alright, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna get my glue here. This is just some Loctite. Gently squeeze a bit out of it to maintain control of the glue. You don't want too much because it'll just be gloppy and take a while to dry. You don't want too little because then it'll just fall over before it's dry. But a little bit does go a long way. But in every situation there's always too much or too little. Alright, I'm just gonna sort of stick this on right about here. Okay, it's kind of off-centered, so I'm gonna rotate it a little. Just trying to make it stand up a bit. You know, I'm just gonna hold that for a second, let the glue dry a little bit so it gets a little more structurally sound. And I'm gonna do something unprofessional. I'm gonna check my cell phone on camera because, whoops, he fell off the stand. Come on, stand up, little guy. I know you only got one leg to stand on because you're in action pose, but I need some work. I'm going to hold that steady for a second, maybe it'll dry up a little bit more. It's just not taken yet. It's kind of taking, but not as quick as I'm used to. I'll just hold that in there a little more. I could build the rest of the figurine first. Come on. No, he fell over again. Dang, this is hard. I thought maybe I should just build the rest of the figurine first and get a nice glue glop for him to stand in when I'm done. Oh, it looks like it just took suddenly because it dried a lot more while I was not succeeding. pretty straight too. And if I tap it, there's like, if I gently tap it, there's like no movement. Looks like it took. Alright, now we have a pair of legs on a base. And only one leg is touching the ground. Because it's like mid-run action shot, you know. So now we get to pick a torso. Is there? Yeah, all the torsos are the same, so it doesn't matter which one I pick. It's just all about how you angle them, you know. They got like standard issue armor or something that makes all their torsos look identical. The Tau are really into everything looking uniform. That's part of their aesthetic. But as I was saying about the Tau, they're all about fighting for the greater good and anything they can to help the overall empire and race of Tau. And their place in Warhammer 40,000 is that I'm gonna get crucified for saying this, but they're kind of the closest thing there is to a good guy in Warhammer 40,000. In Warhammer 40,000, because it's like a gothic science fiction, it's pretty dark, and just pretty much everyone is just awful to each other, and that's kind of the point. It's sort of like a satire of how bad things could get in the year 40,000. But yeah, the Tau are close thing to good guys because they like to they don't just conquer everything around them. They go in, you know, they try to get people to join their empire through trade, cultural exchanges, and you know, like offering technology and resources, and they use diplomacy and trade to try to get more races in their empire. And if you refuse, they'll try better, and if not, then they'll probably try to conquer you eventually. Whereas the Imperium of Man at this point is ruled by one man called the Emperor, who may or may not be dead on a throne. That's part of the mystery of the Imperium of Man. But anyway, the Imperium of Man just conquers everything they need, and they destroy anything that's not human. Pretty bad way of looking at things, but that's kind of the point. It's sort of like a horror, science fiction horror kind of science, because it's like, how bad can they make everything? And that's kind of the art of it, really. Let's try to see how bad they can make it. And I think that's really entertaining and fascinating, because it explores a lot of horror that others have not yet. Let's see there, I put a torso on there now, see? Now it's pair of legs and a torso. I just sort of eyeballed how I wanted it. It's probably just running forward, so I put the torso facing kind of forward like that. See, there's plenty of room in front of him on the stand, so there's plenty of room to put his rifle and such. That'll be out in front of him. I don't know if he's gonna have like a pointing rifle, or if he's gonna have it like parallel to the front of his body, like a, you know, like a soldier, or if he's gonna have it forward, like, you know, he's trying to take aim or something. But yeah, there are several races in the year 40,000. There's the orcs, which are like orcs from Lord of the Rings, or your other type of fantasy you like. They love war. They're bad. Bad, you know, from our perspective. They think they're the best. But yeah, the Tau are close to being good from our perspective. Although they don't get along with the Imperium of Man because they're not human, an Imperial man has been betrayed too much by aliens to really give aliens a chance anymore, is how the story goes. And I think I'm trying to pick a rifle from the sprue here for him. I'm not sure which one I want to go for. But since he's a strike team, you have to go for these long rifles. That's what they use. And according to the rules, that's what he has to use as a Tau plasma rifle type thing. These little short ones are like shotguns or something, and that's for if you're making a different variety of Tau, you know, a different squadron for close quarters. But I'm going for the standard fire word. They're like the poster child of Tau infantry, so that's why I'm picking those. You know, I like to keep things flagship and simple, because when you're like Tau infantry, everyone's gonna think fire warrior. That's the general what they do. That's their thing. That's one of their main types. I'm gonna look at the backs of these to see how the shoulder sockets look, because that's gonna be a big player in how they hold it. So I think I'm gonna go for like one of the. Okay, never mind. That's a long rifle. I think I'm gonna go for this one right here across the chest. So he'll be running with his rifle across his chest, you know, secured, trying to get to his position. That's what I'm feeling right now. Okay, gotta be careful not to cut the magazine out of this one. There we go. And there's a rifle, just popped out. Standard Tau plasma rifle, they fire blue balls of light that can clear armor. The Tau are a really new race in 40k. New meaning like chronologically new in the story, because they were set to be wiped out by humanity. You know, the Imperial men filed the paperwork to have them extinguished because they weren't human and they had no redeeming traits at the time. But it didn't work out because a storm happened in space. There's something called a warp storm, where energies from another dimension will rupture through reality. And when that happens, you can't go there in space. It's blocked off pretty much. You know, it's like if you're going on a road trip across somewhere and there's a tornado, you can't go through there. You're probably going to take a detour to go around, but if it's where you need to go, you're just not going to go there. You're going to come back, right? So that's basically what happened. And yeah, these Tau were isolated from the rest of space for a long time, that other races couldn't really interfere with them. And during that time, the Tau unified and rapidly advanced their technology thanks to some specially evolved Tau called the Ethereals, who have they have crystals on their head that make Tau more open to listening to them and being more cooperative. But without these Ethereals leading them, Tau are just like any other race. They won't evolve quicker than anybody. Just gonna go straight and stick this arm on here. I'm not planning very much, sadly. But I'm just gonna stick that arm on there, and then I'm gonna get it. That took pretty well, actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the other arm ready to hold it. Where did the arms go? The off arms go? I think they're on the other sprue. There's like 3 sprues for these Tau, so I'm trying to find the right one. Okay, got some extra legs. Don't know if I'm going to use those. I wonder if this one's it. I'll go ahead and cut it out because I'll probably need it eventually. Where'd I put my snips? Oh, there they are. They're over here. The Tau are close to being a good guy in my opinion, but they have their flaws. Everyone has their flaws, but it seems like the Tau just have less flaws than other races. Let's see, how will this fit? Will this just go on there? No, it looks like that's not the right arm. It doesn't needs a bend in his elbow to be at the correct length for this rifle. So he'll just sit there for a minute. I'll put this arm off to the side. Okay. Not seeing the elbow right now. There's plenty of heads on it. There's plenty of heads right there, so I can come back to that for that. Alright, let's check the third sprue. It's over here behind me. Maybe this one's it. It's got a slight bend in the arm. I'll clip that one out and give it a shot. Alright. Probably should have planned this a little better. But yeah, this looks like this might fit. Okay, it's closer, but I don't think it's the one. You see I got his hand right here. I'm trying to see if I can finagle it so he's like holding the rifle barrel in his hand. But it's just not quite a right fit. I need his hand to be like out here and come back to his body. So I don't think that's the one. Let me see some of these other ones here. Why is it like that? So it looks like this guy's arm is what we need. See how his fingers are right there? So that's what I'm gonna look for. I don't see it on this one. Go back to these other ones. Maybe it's in here. We got some ones with bent elbows right here, but they have like ammunition clips or grenades in them. So he wouldn't be I'd have to cut it up a bit to make him able to hold his rifle properly. Oh, I bet these are way over here on the side. I don't think I saw those. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip that out. There we go. That looks like the right size and the right bend in the elbow for it to be. Oh no, he's kind of missing his thumb. Did I clip that too close? Okay, let's try it out. Hope you can see that a little bit better. Yeah, that looks like it would work. There, see his little hand down here? That'll probably work. Let's go ahead and glue it on. Going a little fast here, but I'm doing this. I really like to take my time, but I'm getting comfortable assembling these guys, so. Okay, little towel, grip your rifle. There, see, he's gripping his rifle. Like that. glad I left a lot of room in front of him because he sort of fills up his stand now that he's gripping a rifle. So yeah, I got this arm and this arm left over now. I'll set them aside. I'm sure I'll use them soon. Alright. As you can see, all the Tau heads are pretty identical. You got these, I guess they're face panels. They have two variations of face panels on them. But these cycloptic ones are meant to be for the fire team. So I'll get my shears again and let's get us just clip out a little head to stick on there. Okay. I didn't feel that one pop when I clipped it. It's kind of weird. I clipped both sides. Oh, there it goes. Got his little head. It doesn't do justice because these figurines are really well detailed, but it's probably really small. Probably should. Next time I should see if I can zoom this camera in a little more, so it'll be closer. But yeah, if I wanted to show it up this close, I have to refocus the camera every time, and that wouldn't be a good use of our time. There, just putting that camera back. I was gonna try and see if I could adjust it quickly, but it doesn't look like it's a quick thing to do. Alright, so here's his head. Just looking how I want to pose that. Now I'm going to angle his head a little over his shoulder like this, so it's like he's on a, he's like turning his torso back after he took a big step or something. Because your shoulders like alternate as your shoulders alternate against your legs as you run. So I'll angle his head a little over his shoulder, so it's like he just took a big jog forward. There we go. I'm just going to hold this head on here until the glue takes a little. Trying to keep his eyes forward. Sorry if I'm not showing you, I need to see for myself. The glue's taken, it's not tumping over. Just gonna let that dry for a second. Alright, let's check it out. It's been a couple seconds. This super glue's supposed to take pretty quick, so yep, when I tap the head, it's not falling off. See, so the super glue took already just in that amount of time. I didn't do any movie magic or anything and clipped it. I just waited a couple seconds, looked at the time, looked at the window. So now we got one right here. He's mostly assembled, and you see he's still got this leg up. That's kind of neat. Just need to put some detail on him real quick. Every towel has a big a rectangle on their shoulder. See all these little rectangles? I think it's like a shoulder bag or something, or maybe it's some kind of shield. I didn't actually research to find out, but part of their design. But yeah, everyone needs one, so Make sure to get him one. Oh, did I forgot to put? Okay, I put it on my other guy too. Okay, I was worried I forgot to put it on my one of my other two tau I've already made. I realized in my Monster Hunter video I put up, that was the first video I ever made, and I didn't balance the audio correctly, so I hope this one sounds a lot better. Let me just check and see what angle this is supposed to be like. Huh, this looks a little different than what I was thinking. Why is that? I think that one's like a breacher team shoulder pad. Yeah, all these are different. I meant to cut these out. These are different than that. How about that? What's the manual say? Which shoulder pad is fire team supposed to have? Pull that out real quick, just to make sure I'm not going crazy here. Okay, yeah, it has it right here. Yeah, it looks terrible, doesn't it? Yeah, part number 50 is what it says right here. It's probably too blurry for you. Yeah, all these are part 49, these are part 50. All these are labeled 50. So I meant to clip this one out. But hey, maybe I'll have a few pieces left over to make an additional towel. Maybe I can make me a breacher to go with it. I'll take this breacher shoulder pad and put it over here, because we're making fire team. We're not making it a breacher squad right now. Just make sure I don't put it on upside down. I was gonna put a dollop of glue like right on the shoulder. There. Now he's got some glue on his shoulder. I'm just gonna gently plop the shoulder pad on there. See that big square on there? Focus that a little bit for you. Ta-da. Okay, he needs a backpack still, but he's got a shoulder pad. I'm gonna just call it a shoulder pad. It's probably some kind of like backpack, but you have it on your arm, or maybe a shield. Yeah, you see there's a rough spot right there on the edge of it. See how the light hits it? I'll have to clip that off with my my X-Acto blade, but I'll wait till it dries. Should be fine. But yeah, there's some, maybe a little bit on the end of his barrel too, just a little. Yeah, there's some blemishes on the model, but it'll be unnoticeable after you paint it. So he needs a backpack. I mean, he's got his well, he needs like a backpack on his, it's like a communications thing or something on his back. See, these guys have one. It's like some kind of like Darth Vader pack, but it's on his back. It just doesn't look like it holds anything, just like it's, you know, machinery on their back, probably for communications or something. Maybe it's like life support. Let's see, where are the backpacks? Not on this one. Ah, here they are. They're right here in the middle. There's only one type of backpack, so I don't have to worry about accidentally getting a breacher squad backpack. Just gotta clip this one out now. I clipped it, but I don't think I clipped it good enough. Oop, there it goes. There's our backpack for our Tau guy. I bet I'm gonna have to clean this one up a bit. that's a clean cut actually on this side. That one's actually clean too. Okay, I guess I'm not. I clipped it better than I thought. Okay, so what side goes up again? Look at my figurine. The little loop is at the bottom. It's like a loop. And there's a, see, it's sort of like a peg and hole system here. See, he's got like a oval shaped hole in his back. Well, there's an oval shaped peg on the inside of this backpack. That's how it's supposed to go. So easiest way to do these peg and hole ones is put some glue in this little notch that it goes in. Just like that, and just plop it on there. For towel backpacks, the arch on it goes downward. So I'm just gonna glue that on there, easy as that. Give it some very light pressure just to make sure I get some air bubbles out and it's in where it's supposed to be. It's not crooked. See, if you look from the top, it's straight with his back, not his helmet because his head's slightly tilted because he's running. He's like, you know, tilting as he runs, like an action shot. So it's a Tau. Now, I'm not going to forget the antenna this time like I did on that other guy. So here's my antennas again. I want to go for a different type of rectangular one. One's good and clean, rectangular. This one's flared, but in the opposite direction. This one's rectangular, but it's kind of blocky. Let's try one of these blocky ones. Only one clip to get those out. It's kind of nice, I guess. Small benefits. Yeah, it came out alright. Alright, let's put a little glop of glue on his ear. Try it that way this time. Yeah, he's got a little like divot on his helmet for where the antenna's supposed to like arch towards. Oh no, his arm just fell off. I guess I didn't glue that well. I'll just stick it back on. I thought that part was good. I guess I was mistaken. Come on, glue. Take it. Alright. Got the antenna on there. I think I angled it. That's a pretty good angle actually. Look how good that angled on there. See his antenna, how it's angled like that? That's pretty good. That came out pretty well. So now I just need to get that arm back on. I didn't expect that to fall off. I thought I did alright. I know I put on at least a little cattywampus, but I didn't think it would just fall off like that. Because I just sort of eyeballed where the rifle and hand would go to hold it. Instead of, the pro thing to do is use some blue tack, or probably know it as sticky tack, to like do temporary poses before you start gluing. You know, I got me some right here, I just didn't use it. Because it's pretty similar when I've made probably a dozen or two Dark Eldar, and I've gotten used to eyeballing where hands should go to hold a rifle at what angle. But yeah, it kind of surprised me when that arm fell off. But one little dollop of glue and it's back on there now. And now we have a completed fire warrior for the Tau. So I can work on getting some more detailing for him. I'll probably stick a grenade or something on his belt. But for now, that's probably pretty good for one of these. Then, after I'm done making everything, I can begin painting them and, you know, putting stuff on the base like grass and rocks and some dirt. I'm still thinking about what I want to do for that, if I want to do grass or rocks or dirt. But it'll all come. But now I have 3 fire warriors. And I got probably Well, let's count the torsos here. I got 5, 6, 7 more to go. Looks like it's a 10-man team. Just counting by torsos, because you're going to run out of torsos eventually. So it looks like it takes 10 tau, and I got 3. So 7 more to go. Alright, y'all. Well, thank you for joining me. Hope this was a unique type of video and it helped you relax, or it entertained you or something. I'll see about making some more videos. See you around.